Understanding the key selection criteria is key to you getting an interview. And if you don't know how to answer it or analyse it, then your job hunt is not going to be very successful. So it's a good thing that I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today. Hello creative people, I am Jade from Misskoko the Librarian, and on this channel I share my expertise so that you too can create a rockin' online presence that brings you to the attention of all the right people. And today we're going to be covering the key selection criteria, how to analyse it and answer it. So what is the key selection criteria? It is a set of skills that an organisation uses to measure your suitability for the job that they have advertised. So when you see the key selection criteria, that means that you need to answer every single criteria to be eligible for the job. The key selection criteria, or selection criteria, as it is sometimes called, is always part of a document called the position description. And the position description is usually an attached document that you can find when you go to the organisation's job portal on the web. For example, on the Museums Victoria website, the position description is a clear link here near the top of the page. On the websites like Careers Victoria, the position description, including the selection criteria, as they call it here, is laid out on the web page itself. If you can't find the position description in your job search, then I would suggest doing a Control F, a find search in your browser, and typing in position description into the search box. And after that, if you still can't find it, then I would suggest getting in touch with the job contact, and they should be able to direct you to it. And while it is important to answer all the key selection criteria, I would strongly urge you to actually read the entire position description, because when you do that, you get a sense of the organisation that you are applying to join, which neatly ties into my next big point, which is when you are analysing the key selection criteria, you also need to make an effort to understand the organisation. Part of this job application process is proving that you understand the dynamics, the staff and the clients of the workplace that you are applying to join. And you can do that in your application by using their language. Let me explain. Go through the position description and highlight key skills and phrases that they use. And then when you are writing your application, use those same sentence structures and key phrases within your application. And another way that you can get insights into the organisation is to call up the job contact and ask them relevant questions about the position, the team that you would be joining, and maybe any projects that are currently in the works. You could also ask them, is there anything that they'd consider desirable for an applicant to have which they didn't have enough space to put in the position description? In getting all these little nuggets of information, you're putting together a picture of the organisation and what it is they need. So use that when you are writing up your application and make it easy for the hiring panel to see you in that position. And my next point for analysing the key selection criteria is that you need to understand the keywords that they use within the position description. And a keyword is the qualifier or key expressions that are used to indicate what level of experience they expect you to have with different skills. For example, a key selection criteria that asks for demonstrated ability to provide reference services to library clients is very different from a key selection criteria that asks for an understanding of reference services provided to library clients. In the first key selection criteria, you would have to demonstrate a time when you actually provided reference services for a library client and how you handled it. Whereas the second key selection criteria, you would just have to demonstrate your understanding of the reference interview, as opposed to showing a time when you actually conducted one. Below in the video description, I have a cheat sheet of commonly used keywords in job applications. So find the link, click it, and download that cheat sheet, and I trust it will help you with your future job applications. And after all that analysing, you now get to answer your key selection criteria. When you are answering it, I want you to remember SAR, the SAR technique. And that stands for situation, action, and result. Most people get the situation and the action part down pat. But when it comes to proving a result from their actions, that's when it gets a bit rocky. But I want to tell you that it's that result part which is the most important in answering the key selection criteria, because it's the way that you can prove your worth. You can prove what you can do to benefit your new workplace. Because if you can show the result of your work, then you are clearly defining to the hiring panel exactly how much you're worth. So for future job applications, I want you to do the following. I want you to read the whole position description and don't just skip to the key selection criteria. I would love it if you could use the language of the position description within your own application. And call up the job contact and ask them relevant questions about the job you're applying for. However, make sure that the questions you are asking, it's not something that you could have easily found out yourself just by looking at the organisation's website. You need to watch the rest of my Job Hunters playlist. I cover everything from searching for jobs to what to do on your first day when you get a new job. And if you need expert advice, I have an application review service where I look at your application and provide you with feedback to improve it. And of course, I give you a checklist of things that you can use to improve your future applications. A link to that is in the video description below. So now that you understand the key selection criteria and how to analyse it and answer it, what are you going to focus on for your next job application? I look forward to joining your discussions below in the comments. You've been entertained and hopefully educated. I've been Jade from Misskoko the Librarian. Remember to always be curious, and I will see you same time in a couple of weeks.